Hi, my name is Danielle, founder of thesedge.org, where changemakers come to launch and grow successful social enterprises. Now, in the last video, we talked a lot about the how, and the how being the strategic piece that connects your vision for change with the daily actions and outputs that you focus on, your products and services, and those being the what. And this how in the middle, it gets kind of messy and complicated. And so we talked about how there are several pillars within this that need to be managed and balanced in order for things to work better. And that in order for these to be balanced, the only way to do that is for you to be the leader that your business deserves and lead yourself and figure out a way to support yourself so that you can make really good decisions in all of those pillars. Because, as we talked about, if just hustling was enough or just learning enough was enough and that was all we needed to succeed, then eventually you would figure it all out and that would be amazing. Then we would have a formula and we could replicate it and it would all make sense. But guess what? It doesn't really all get figured out. At least, if you know someone or if you have it all figured out, please tell me. I would like to talk to you and learn more about how you did that. But from what I can tell, it's always changing. And, no matter who I talk to at what stage in their business, there's always the next level, the next challenge, the next struggle, the next piece of personal growth that you need to work on or strategic piece that you need to solve. And you need to learn how to focus when you need to focus, how to adapt when you need to adapt, when to build partnerships, when to cut partnerships, and how to balance all of these competing decisions because they're competing for your attention and for your final decision every moment of every day. And it can be super draining, certainly overwhelming, and just plain frustrating to have all these decisions in front of you and not really know how to make them or where to start. So I don't think there's any magic formula for managing these pillars and creating the how for your social enterprise. But the key really, I believe, is to step up as a self-leader and create an environment where, for the sake of your business and for the sake of the impact you want to achieve, and for your own sanity as well, what can you do to be a better self-leader and to design an environment where you can thrive with that and keep growing and pushing yourself to navigate all of these really tough decisions that you're faced every day that are pulling you in different directions. So if that's the trick, to create an environment where you're set up to succeed and you're allowing yourself the space to grow as a leader and to gain more confidence in how you lead your business, what does that look like? Now, I would say it's extremely, extremely hard to learn and grow in a bubble. If you're just in your own head and doing your own thing, you don't have that outside feedback, you don't have the reinforcement or the support or the encouragement from other people to help give you guidance on when your thinking is a bit skewed or when you might want to be thinking of something in a different way, or even just to surprise you with a new insight that you never thought of before. And so I believe that surrounding yourself with this type of environment, a community of people who will grow alongside you and with you and challenge you and support you, all for towards the same goals that you have, I think that's the single most important thing you can do for yourself to develop and refine your own self-leadership skills and to continue refining your strategy in your business and to continue succeeding. So I want to share a few examples of times in my past where I've had a community to learn from and learn with and to walk alongside people who are on a similar path. So one of the big ones was when I first started the Sedge. I was part of a business incubator called Startup Chile. So it was down in South America, and essentially the program brought together entrepreneurs from all over the world, and we lived and worked in Santiago in Chile for 6 months in a cohort, and they bring in different cohorts along throughout the year, and they're still doing it today. But the amazing thing about being in that environment was everybody who I was hanging out with and working with in the co-working space or interacting with at social engagements, we were all walking the same path. We had very similar struggles and challenges. Despite having different businesses, of course, we were hitting the same questions, the same roadblocks. We were wrestling with the same types of decisions. So a few examples. I learned about really neat tools like online software and different frameworks and resources that I could plug into and apply to my own business. So that was amazing. It was not a random Google search. It was somebody sitting next to me saying, "Oh, you're having trouble with that? Why don't you try this tool to mock up your website and test out different navigation possibilities before you actually build it?" I had no idea there were things like that out in the world. So that alone, I believe, would help shorten the learning curve for sure as I was getting started. But even things like feedback. So we participated in a couple pitch competitions and was trying to distill the essence of the Sedge down into 1 minute or 3 minutes or 5 minutes. And that's really hard to do when you're doing it by yourself. But to have a community of your peers who could give feedback, really constructive, really relevant, excellent feedback to help improve that and grow that. So that was another piece that I really loved about being part of that community. And a third example was when we set out to do a social innovation weekend in Chile. Obviously, we didn't know as many people down there, but we wanted to have a full weekend where social entrepreneurs would get together and design new social enterprises and do that within the course of just 2.5 days over the weekend. So I tapped into our Startup Chile community and we brought in speakers with such great depth of expertise in different areas that and had them share it with our community in a way that was much more effective than I could have done on my own. So those are some great examples of what a community can bring to you. Another group that I was a part of a bit later that actually came out of Startup Chile was the Female Entrepreneurs of the World. So it's kind of a strange name, but one thing that came out of being in Startup Chile was that there was very few female founders working in our program, and we actually had one of the highest percentages of female founders out of similar types of tech incubators around the world, and that was only 10%. Only 10%. So there was about 8 to 10 of us involved to various degrees in my cohort. And what was amazing connecting deeply with that group of women was that we were able to explore some of the challenges that we faced as female founders together. So instead of wondering on our own or not even being aware of the challenges that we faced, we were able to have those discussions and go deep and learn more about how we could grow. For example, becoming aware of some limiting beliefs around serving people as a woman or self-worth and being compensated for the value that I bring into the world. Those were some really interesting learnings that I got as a result of being part of that group. Being a part of these communities offers not only just the practical learning and skills development, which of course is so useful to shorten that learning curve and get access to just-in-time information and relevant how-to information when you need it. So of course that's one piece of it, but it also provides a place for you to grow your self-leadership skills and interact and support and learn and exchange ideas with other people who are on the same path as you. And that in itself is incredibly invaluable as well. So I have a question for you. After you've listened to this video, I want you to ask yourself, do you have a community that you can lean on for all of these things? What does that look like for you right now? Is it something that you're missing? And how do you explore those pillars of your strategy, those hows that we talked about in the last video? Do you have people who can challenge you to step up and be the leader that your business deserves when it comes to managing your mindset, when it comes to when you need to give more hustle or to take a step back and relax a bit? when it comes to learning those new skills and finding those new tools, or when it comes to experimenting, like when to adapt and when to focus, and when it comes to connecting with the right people at the right time who can help you grow your work and advance your business. So I just want you to know, like, you don't need to walk this journey by yourself. And I really encourage you not to, because it's so much more difficult if you try and do it alone. And in the next video, I'm actually going to share a project with you that I'm so excited about. And it was designed exactly to solve some of these challenges that we've been talking about. And it's called the Changemakers Association, which I am co-creating with Solène of Creators for Good, which is fabulous. She's my favorite collaborator. So it's been really fun to bring this to life for you. And it's a brand new community designed specifically for social entrepreneurs. And it includes the learning, the community, and some opportunities to grow as a person and to grow your business. So to learn more about exactly what it is and why we created it, I want to invite you to join Solène and I on May 25th, because we're having a launch party and we're going to celebrate the fact that we're launching Changemakers Association, and also celebrate the fact that it will be exactly 1 year anniversary since we started the Global Social Entrepreneurs Lab together on Facebook, which is a free community that you're, of course, welcome to join if you're not already a part of that. So I hope to see you at the launch party on May 25th.